equipment and different people working in different places in what is oftentimes a chaotic IT environment. Online backup really simplifies the backup job because every device can have SOS installed on it, and then you know that that device is going to be backed up. Media, with some of the most embarrassing data loss incidents in the last few years have been because of misplaced backup media. And generally, media is a big problem with tape-based backups. You've got very high rates of failure upon recovery, and even putting that aside, it's just the hassle of having to rotate media and maintain tape libraries. None of that applies to online backup. It's just all in the cloud. It's all immediately recoverable in real time. And so that's the next point, recovery. If you've ever done a full environment recovery on tape, you know that it can be a 3 or 4 or 5 day job. So in the case of a business that's completely down, it can be a week before their environment's restored. Whereas with online backup, you have instant real-time access to your data. You're only slowed down by the speed of your internet connection. So in terms of your mission-critical files, you can get them back usually in under an hour. Even with the slowest DSL connection, you'll be able to get your data back within an hour. From a security standpoint, most hardware backup solutions are not particularly secure. They don't have encryption built into them, whereas with online backup, you've got military-grade encryption all the way through. So SOS has government customers, banks, large financial institutions, military customers, all of whom use our product because it's so secure. And then from an access to data standpoint, generally with traditional backup solutions, the only people who have access to the backup is IT, so the data is very much siloed off, whereas with online backup, every user's got access to their data. So users I can literally on my iPhone, I can access I've got 7 computers connected to my SOS account, and I can access all of those in real time from my iPhone. And there's no other technology that allows you to do that, let alone any other backup technology. And then we've looked at cost, and we've already looked at revenue. It's at a lower cost to the customer, and it's a higher revenue to you, the reseller. So it's a better backup at a better price. And really that is our mission in life. It's to convert backup from a major customer pain point and a cost center and turn it into a sales and a profit center for you and your business, and to provide much better protection for your customers. So one of the most popular questions we get, common questions we get, is about the industry size, total market size. So just a few statistics. The overall backup industry is a $10 billion industry on an annual basis. Online backup today is still under $1 billion. It's been estimated by IDC it'll be $700 million this year. But looking forward, online backup is generally industry pundits and industry insiders agree online backup is going to capture 60 to 70% market share over the next 5 years. So we're looking at an industry that's going to grow to 6 or 7 times the size that it is today. There's a lot of growth left in the industry. And that's the second most common question I get, which is, have I missed the boat? Have I left it too late to get into the online backup business? And the answer is definitely not. This is a great time to be getting into it. We're really seeing a surge and a land grab going on in the industry right now. So I would get into the industry as soon as possible and get your clients using your solution. Because the reality is your customers are going to use online backup. Now, if you don't give it to them, they will go and get it from somebody else. They'll buy it from Mozy, or they'll buy it from Carbonite, or they'll buy it from one of your competitors up the street, frankly. So getting an online backup solution into your product mix and getting it into the hands of your customers is an imperative, because they are rapidly adopting this technology. All right, so let's skip through and actually start looking at the product itself and then the partner program. The product is built around 4 key concepts: protecting data, which is just hardcore backup and recovery; accessing data, which refers to different ways to get at and share and consume that data. So the iPhone example I just used. Sharing data is the ability to push data out to people outside of the SOS cloud, so getting it to colleagues, or even sharing photo albums with friends, or publishing to Facebook. And then managing data, managing your private cloud. If you've pushed it out to 400 computers, how do you manage the backup set on those 400 computers? Well, using our management infrastructure. So let's turn and look at some of the key features of the system. I won't go through all of these. I'd encourage you to check out our website at some point and go through the features there, but I'll talk about some of the key ones, starting with continuous data protection. We've got a built-in CDP module. We don't charge for that. We don't charge additional for that. Veritas still charges $1,000 for their CDP module, whereas we've built ours in. So what this means is that you can tell SOS to watch a particular file and have it constantly monitor that file and back it up as soon as it changes. Unlimited computers, this is actually a very big differentiator. When we sell online backup, we sell it as a 3-user pack or a 5-user pack or an unlimited user pack. With Mozy, they basically sell a license per machine, and that costs money. So, for example, workstation licenses, I believe, are $3.95 per month. So if you've got 100 workstations that you're backing up with Mozy Pro, you're paying $400 a month to back up nothing, just license fees. So $5,000 a year to back up nothing, just license fees. With SOS, there are no license fees. You can deploy SOS on 1,000 PCs, and it won't cost you a dime. The only thing that matters is the amount of space that you're using in our cloud. And this is a really powerful sales tool when you're selling online backup to your customers, because it invariably leads to a much lower cost for this solution than any other backup solution. They've only got to buy some space on the cloud, which is equivalent to the amount of data they need to back up, and there are no other license fees to be worried about. Global roaming access, once the data is in the SOS cloud, you can get at it from any type of browser on any platform, or also with our rich clients for iPhone and for BlackBerry. Here, free integrated local backup. There's a fully featured local backup solution built into the software that also lets you do backup to disk, backup to network drives, backup to NAS. So you can very much follow a 2-tiered backup strategy with the product, making sure that you're backing up to at least 2 different places, one being an on-site copy, another being the off-site copy. I'll skip through some of these features in the interest of time. Powerful recovery. The recovery system is really excellent and really, I think, sets us apart. Not only does it allow you to roll back to any point in time, but it also lets you recreate your infrastructure at that point in time. So what I mean by that is, I'll actually, while I'm talking, I'll fire up my installation so I can actually show you. But because we keep an unlimited history of versions, which is this point at the bottom here, we've got a very powerful ability to recreate your data environment at any point. Contrast that with, say, Mozy, which keeps 30 versions of your files. They can roll you back for up to 30 days, which is fine. But for a true DR solution, particularly if you're selling to businesses that are subject to Sarbanes-Oxley regulations or the HIPAA regulations, the ability to roll back to any point in time is very, very powerful. Some of those regulatory frameworks actually require businesses to keep data for up to 7 years, and you can do that with SOS. And so, in fact, a lot of our resellers sell SOS not just as a disaster recovery solution, but also as an archiving solution. So we have some partners who sell this purely as HIPAA backup or Sarbox backup. So the recovery module, which is timeline-driven, allows us to roll back to any particular date. So I'm not sure if it comes through clearly on the video, but here on the screen I've got my account with SOS, and you can see some of these dates are in bold. And those are the dates that backups ran on my system, and it created a new snapshot. I can actually roll this all the way back to, well, let's just pick a date. If we pick April 2010 and click Next, what you're going to see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 machines were in my environment in April 2010. If I keep going back, say, let's go back to 2008. Here we are on the 4th of November 2008. 2 machines were in my particular environment. I'd have to go back. I think I could go back to 2006 and I'd find the origination of this account. And so what you just saw me do might seem simple, but it's actually quite powerful. I can recreate my particular data environment at any given time and then recover on, say, a file level. If I want to just get a single file, I can even recover at a version level. So you'll see here, I could in this drop-down, I could select the particular, so there were 2 versions created on that particular day. Or I could recover at a drive or even a system or multiple systems. So I could recover all the data from both of these systems down to this PC in real time. So there is no recovery window, there is no delay. It's immediately available for me. So that's just a little real-life example of the way the recovery system works and the versioning system. Archiving I've already sort of alluded to. There's a hidden gotcha in most online backup products, which is this. If you're backing up a file to the cloud and you delete the file from your PC, all of our competitors delete that file from the cloud. They do that on the basis that keeping the file would then make it an archive because you've removed it from your local environment. We don't take that approach at all. In fact, we think it's a very foolish approach to online backup product design. What we've learned is that more than 60% of single file recoveries on our system are for accidental file deletion. Boiling that down, users delete data. They do it by accident. They don't mean to. What they want from their backup service is somebody who's going to protect them against their own mistakes. So deleting that data from the cloud really is poor product design. So we've built archiving directly into the product enabled by default, which means if you delete that file from your PC, we're going to keep a copy of it archived in the cloud for you until you tell us to remove it from the cloud. This enables additional sales and marketing strategies for you as a reseller because it means that you can directly position this as an archiving solution for any business, but particularly those businesses who are required by federal or state law to keep off-site archives, and anybody subject to HIPAA is the best example of that. So any dentist or physiotherapist or chiropractor or doctor or hospital in your local area is an excellent sales target for online backup because by law they're required to back up electronic protected health information with a solution similar to SOS. All right, so let's look at the actual partnership program. Why partner with SOS? Well, the highlights are technology, our support and our infrastructure, the margin that you can earn by partnering with us. You'll find that our partner program certainly gives you the most aggressive price point in the market in terms of your supply cost. And I'm going to cut through the marketing slide. And it's really about delivering a better backup at a better price for your customers and earning very good margin on the revenue that you derive from that along the way. So it's because it's such a booming market and because there is such demand for the product right now, it's very easy to sell and it's very easy to earn very high margin on the product. In terms of how the SOS platform works, everything you see is rebrandable and customizable. So the whole platform's built on our core public cloud API stack that lets us change functionality and customize things for you as our partner. We can switch certain functions on and off to customize the product for you. And actually, we'll talk about how we go about delivering your solution in just a second. I'm going to walk around this circle here, which is our diagram for our partner program, and just talk about each element. From an infrastructure standpoint, you get to leverage our 11 data centers around the world. Depending on which geography you're in, you may actually want to specify that data never leaves the country. So, for example, Canadians will often want to make sure that their data never leaves Canada. We've got data centers in the United States, Canada, Australia, India, the United Kingdom, and Eastern Europe, actually in the Ukraine. So every major geography is covered. From a product and software standpoint, every piece of software is included in your partnership with us. So whether that means the PC desktop client or having a mobile portal for your customers to access their data on their smartphones through to the shopping carts and e-commerce systems, it really is a turnkey solution that you can just deploy into your business. From a billing standpoint, we're very flexible. There are 3 ways of working with us. One is that we can just send you an invoice for what you use on our cloud. Another is we can actually help you collect payments from your customers. We can do that either through several different models. And then lastly, we've just got a raw API that you can consume. So if you want a highly customized solution or you want to embed this in with the rest of your technology, then you can just hook into our APIs. Marketing. We've got very deep marketing resources available for our partners. We spent a lot of money building what we call the Partner Resource Center, which we built on the back of feedback we had, where we had a lot of partners who would say, I love the product, I love the technology, but I need more help with the marketing side of things. So a lot of our partners are small IT shops, very competent when it comes to technology, but not necessarily set up with a full-on marketing department or even a sales department. So the Partner Resource Center was put together to really target those types of resellers. And it's filled with resources that we use